ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to The Sims 4. I'm of course the ConflictNerd, and today we are doing a room build, which I've never done before. So this is a bedroom studio combo inspired by my own bedroom and YouTube recording setup, with some flares added in there that I suppose it'd kind of be something I would really like to try at some point, but I don't have any reason to try it. So, this room has a bed, it's got a nice computer setup, it's got a TV in there, it's got a couple of microphones, 2 guitars, it's got a sofa, there's some paintings. It's a nice place. There's not that many windows, and it is a weird shape, but the reason I didn't really put windows in is because I don't really know where this would go on a house, so I kind of just put the couple of windows in the corner there, and I cover them so that if you want to put this in the end of a house, at the corner of a house or something, then you can. But if you don't want to do that, you can just get rid of the windows and put them elsewhere. There's plenty of space where you could move things about to make it work. I also used some kind of frosted windows because I just really like the idea of having slightly tinted windows for that space. I don't know why, I think it kind of looks good. I mean, I cover them anyway. The windows don't really matter, you don't really see them. But, you know, I thought it kind of just looked interesting. Plus, I like the idea of just massive windows that you could just pull a bit of string and have the blinds come up and be blinding you. Have blinding light from outside coming in the windows. I thought that was fun too, but I mean, you can't really do that in The Sims, so it's fine. So there you go. Just again, inspired by my own setup. There is a big TV on the right. I actually don't have the big TV on my right anymore. It's on the other side of my room, but it'll be on my right at some point soon. You have your central screen there, and I did want to put a couple of screens on either side of that, but you can't really get them close enough for it to work, so I put those 2 screens kind of mounted to the bars of the windows up above, and I thought that kind of worked like that. Those aren't necessarily practical in terms of regular usage, but having those 2 screens would be great if you were like live. I'm talking in real life here, not in The Sims. Those 2 screens would be great if you were live streaming or editing a lot. In terms of using browsers and Facebook and YouTube and like just using things, not practical or needed at all. But in terms of live streaming or recording or lots of editing, that would be an amazing setup to have. And I mean, I'll be honest, I've got 3 screens myself. 3 screens are kind of great for editing and streaming, so, you know, it's pretty great. So you'll notice there we've got a nice red wall going on, and I'm putting in some pillars to divide up that space. We do go ahead and divide up that space a little bit more later on. We put a room divider kind of behind the chair. And again, that's inspired by my own setup. If you've seen any of my live streams, or if you've seen any of my videos where there's a face cam, you will see that there's like a kind of thing behind me. That's a room divider that I've put a blue sheet over. I was going to blue screen, but I didn't bother. I just wanted to put that up there so there's kind of a flat color behind me so you don't see the mess that is my bedroom. I figured, you know, might as well put that in. But anyway, you saw me put in some lights a minute ago. That was those, the beamers are just temporary. Those are not going to be sticking around, just dealing with the windows at the moment, and I go with these blinds, like I said earlier. I really like them. I kind of wanted them in black because I thought having them in black might look a little bit like acoustic foam that you would maybe put in walls or something, but I think the white just works. I think it does an alright job. Looking for some posters here to put on the walls. I end up settling on just the one poster. Later on I put a clock above it, just a wall-mounted, you know, time-telling device on the walls so that, you know, middle of recording you can look at it and go, oh, it's that time. I was tempted to put this security camera in there as a quote-unquote face cam. I ended up not doing it because it would have been mounted to a window, which was kind of silly. I've done it before. I have made these kind of home recording studio things before. I made one on a live stream once. I have seen James build one, and I think he mentioned in that he'd seen me do it in a live stream. So this is a weird video. It's come about because I built one in a live stream. I watched James build one who mentioned he saw me build it in a live stream, and now I'm building this because I saw him build it in a video, and he mentioned that he saw me build it in a live stream. There's like YouTube. Is it too late to make Inception? I feel it's too late to make Inception jokes. I feel like I'm way behind on that one. Anyway, going ahead and adding a rug there. The reason for that rug interesting fact, that would be really good for sound dampening. This room in general would be really bad and like the acoustics would be awful unless you wanted reverb, but the acoustics would be awful because there's a lot of flat walls, so having that rug in there, having a lot of clutter would help with that. Also, I put in that folder under the TV, once again, if you saw my dream house build, or the not my dream house build, I use those as like consoles. I don't know, I think they kind of look like consoles. I also put another tablet in there because you can imagine maybe we have a Wii U or something. I mean, I don't know why I'd have a Wii U other than maybe Mario Kart and Smash Bros, which I've not played in over 10 years, but you know, I kind of really want a Wii U. I'm gonna be honest, I want a Wii U. Anyway, you know, besides me wanting a Nintendo console, I was gonna put this weird stereo looking thing in there because I felt that the desk was a little bit bland and bare, but I didn't bother because it didn't really fit the theme and there were no colors that really matched and it didn't really look like something that would be necessarily usable. And I don't know, I mean, on my desk I have a lot of audio stuff, like I've got audio interfaces, I have USB hubs, I have a Line 6 pod preamp for my guitars, you know, I've got a lot of stuff. But you can't really emulate any of that in Sims, unfortunately, which kind of sucks. It would be nice if you could, but unfortunately, you know, you can't do these things. Just looking for more clutter here to add to the desk. Once again, you know, if you've seen any of my builds on this channel, you know, the not my dream house build that we did, if you've seen any of my older builds from months ago, from last year even, you'll know that clutter is my best friend. I love just making a space look messy, you know? Instead of having something perfectly aligned with the wall, you just angle it a little bit. Makes it look lived in, makes it look used, makes it look homely. And I don't know. I am not a fan of pristine, perfect layouts and all that stuff. I think used and ready for use is the better way to go. I was tempted to do that weird thing there with the two mirrors, kind of put the round one at the top. I didn't bother because I mean, as cool as it looked, I like it. It sort of still looked weird, I'll be honest. Now, I came over here to this table. I did want to add some stuff under it. I wanted to add some shelves, but I couldn't get anything that really worked. The counters were too high. The bedside tables sort of clip and glitch inside of each other. And I wasn't happy with that. We do end up making an interesting sort of combo unit a little bit later on when it comes to putting in the wardrobe for this room, which is actually an item from Spa Day. I don't know how many things in this room I use that are from Spa Day, but I think there might be a couple. I think there are some kind of DLC items in this room. There are definitely a few, anyway. I know there's some get to work stuff in there. There's like the boxes you're seeing under the table. It'll tell you on the gallery what you need, as far as I know. This is up on the gallery, by the way. If you want to get it, there'll be a link in the description. It'll take you over to the gallery and you can get this, or you can search for the Origin ID ConflictNerd and it will show you everything I have in the gallery, and you can go and, you know, do all that if you so desire. So I came along here with a couch. I wanted to sort of make... I used to have a couch in my room. I don't anymore, but I wanted to make a kind of vlogging area. Now, I don't do vlogs, and I'm probably never going to do vlogs, but I thought this was a really cool idea to sort of make a vlogging corner. To be honest, I think it looks good in the end. I put some of these paintings up on the back wall there. I was looking for other stuff. I was going to stack the 3 different ones as well. But in the end, I get rid of the bottom one, and I just have the 2 paintings, and I think it looks kind of decent. I'm gonna be honest, it's an interesting little corner. Now, what I do here is I directly steal something from James Turner, Mr. Sim Supply. I really like the idea that those are acoustic kind of soundproofing pads, and I think they look really interesting. I don't put that many of them in, I do change it, and here you're seeing me have a stack of 3 of them. In the screenshots at the end of the video, there's actually only 2. I didn't notice here, but the bottom 2 of them stacked there are kind of glitching out. So, in the screenshot, there's only 2 stacked. Here, there's 3. It looks better in the screenshots than it does right now. Once again, coming back to something slightly inspired by me, 2 guitars right there. I don't have 2 acoustic guitars, I have 2 electric guitars right there. I could have probably mounted another guitar somewhere in the room because I have a 3rd guitar in my room, but it doesn't matter. It's inspired by my own room. It's not a direct copy of my own room by any extent. My room is nowhere near this cool. My room's also significantly smaller. Now, the 2 microphones you saw me put in there, I want you to imagine that those are on arms that can bend. So you'd pull the microphone down in front of you when you want to record. The other one's kind of the same. You'd move your chair over and pull the microphone down in front of you. Now, there's the room divider going in. That's what I was talking about. That, it does split up the areas, and you might not be a fan of that. And it is an easy fix, you know, just delete the room divider if you're not a fan of it. But I like it because, again, it's inspired by what I have, what I use, you know, the tactics I use to get a little bit more acoustic dampening into my room. You know, things like that. It's just, you know, do what you know, build what you know, be inspired by what's around you, and I did. So, I got rid of the beamer a moment ago. And at this point, I was looking for some more lights to put in here, and something you'll notice about this room in the end is that the area around the computer is a little bit dark. I'm kind of okay with that, honestly. I don't mind it too much, because, I mean, there are some lamps on the table, and I was looking for some lamps that looked like you could maybe angle them up to lighten your face up if you want to use face cam or whatever, but I couldn't really find anything I liked to put around it, so I did leave it kind of dark, and I think it works. Now, what you've seen me do here is use the kind of surgical lamp thing as a direct light under that sofa. And I do end up putting a light above the paintings as well that are on the back wall there behind the sofa, just to brighten that corner up. I do really love the idea of that light straight on the sofa. You know, you'd have the light there, you'd have the camera kind of below it, and it would be like a vlogging sofa, basically. That is what that is in my mind. It's a nice corner where you could record a channel update or some kind of vlog, and you know, I'm gonna be honest, I would love to have a setup like this. That'd be really cool. But, again, my room is nowhere near this big. Now, this is what I was saying about looking at lights that kind of look like you could angle them up to brighten up your face. But I don't really like these ones, and I couldn't get them to sit even on the table, so I do end up having a look at a couple of others, but I do end up settling on just one lamp off to one side of the chair in just a moment. I really like those little lights, can I just say? They kind of, I don't know, I have a thing, IRL, with little kind of futuristic-like kind of lights. I like, you know, I'm sick of like switches and lights. All my lights on my desk, all my LED lights, all my kind of lighting for cameras, it's just like, you just kind of touch it and it turns on. You can change the settings. It's all like softbox LED, like, I love LED lights. I really do. They're incredibly energy efficient. They last for ages. LEDs can last for years. You don't have to deal with changing bulbs. LEDs aren't expensive. Like, they're so good. I don't understand why the world isn't moving towards, like, LED everything. It's so silly. Now, I added those canvases in there just because I like the idea of clutter, and if you kind of let your mind imagine it, those could maybe be, like, acoustic boards. Or you could just be really arty and pretend that you're painting something, or put an easel in here. Whatever the case, I like them. I thought they looked good as clutter. Now, this is something I love. I decided to use one of the spa day sort of changing locker things. And this does work as a wardrobe. You can change into a towel as well from it. You can plan your outfits, try on outfits, all of that stuff. But there is this space above it that I'm not a fan of, and I didn't really want to... I didn't really want to lower the... I think I have lowered the room to as low as it can go anyway. I was about to say I didn't really want to lower the room. I think it is possibly as low as it can go. I don't know. I didn't actually pay attention to that. I don't know what the height of this room is. I probably should. But what I decide to do in the end, before... apparently after I put that on the wall and put some trophies into it, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I'm going to put some trophies into this, just because, you know, apparently the sim that lives here is going to have trophies from making videos or something. I don't know. Apparently that is a thing. That's a thing this sim does. Now, can we get back to the wardrobe thing? Because I quite like what I did with the wardrobe. I'm going to be honest. I was looking for ways to light up that corner, but I do end up abandoning it. So, we come back to this wardrobe, and I wanted something to hide that space. So I thought, well, I could put a light there. And it doesn't look dreadful, but at the same time, it kind of looks dreadful. You know, it doesn't look all that amazing. It's a bar across the wall, and it looks silly. So what do? I mean, I could recess the thing into the wall a bit. I could try and find another light to put in there, but you know what I end up doing before. You know, I want to get to the cool bit. I don't know where I am in the video. I'm gonna be honest. I considered putting pillars at the corners, but what I end up doing is not recessing it into the wall. I end up going to... Oh, God, I'm still not doing it. I end up going to bedside tables, all right? I end up going to bedside table. There we go. I end up going to bedside tables, and I raise one of these up above the thing. And I like this one. I do. And I change the color so it kind of matches, and it looks good. I like that. I do. But I don't like that it has the kind of glass shelf on top of it. And also, if you look carefully, it is a brown wood and the kind of tan, where the unit itself, the wardrobe, is black wood and tan. You can see it there when I light it up. Now, the unit I end up using isn't that one. I use this unit I've just plopped in. I use that one. I end up using it because I like the thicker shelves at the top. It is still brown and tan as opposed to the matching color, but because I don't have a light right up there, you don't really notice, and it looks like a kind of built-in unit, and I absolutely love it. I'm pretty sure that is more or less everything in the room. I do add something to the wall there that's kind of bare beside the bed, but other than that, that is going to be it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna jump into some screenshots here and have a look at the build. I love this. I think it looks great. I'm really pleased with how this turned out. The desk area looks cluttered and used and nice. The vlogging area looks great. You've got a bed that you can sleep in. You can change your clothes. I mean, it's a bit of a mess, but it's meant to be a bit of a mess, and I'm gonna call it a success. Anyway, folks, I'm going to leave it there for today, so thank you kindly for watching. I've been the ConflictNerd. This has been The Sims 4. This build is available on the gallery right now. You can search up the origin ID ConflictNerd or follow the link in the description below, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye!